Hello, today I'm going to be taking the negative side against the affirmative. And before I begin, I would like to mention that Rex failed to identify the terms in the resolution, and he actually failed to mention the resolution as a whole, which affects his topicality in his plan. There is no mention of the resolution whatsoever in this video, which also means that he failed to identify the key terms that are part of his plan. So in this case, he failed to define primary and secondary education, which just simply means kindergarten to 12th grade. Um, and this violates a very important job as the affirmative, which causes his whole plan to fall apart in the long run. This matters for several reasons. First, he's not completing his job as the affirmative. And second, if no terms are defined in the resolution, it makes it harder for individuals to understand his plan as he mentions later on. So I don't think people should give him the vote for that, because if you can't really understand what he's trying to change or what sector of education he's trying to change, like, how are you going to vote for that? And now I'm going to be moving on into my disadvantages. And the first disadvantage is that height that he mentions is going to, well, I'm going to be talking about high stake testing. And actually, stake testing is currently what is being used in this country, and it is a form of getting a high school diploma and such. And actually, he mentioned in his plan would only be temporary, and this can be found in the third minute in the third second. So if it's only a temporary solution, how is it going to give long-term benefits to the sector? Also, I think that if it's not that it's not that great of a plan, once again, because it's only a temporary solution. There's no long-term plan set, so it's just kind of redundant to try to fix something, to only go back to something that's not working apparently. Um, and high stake testing are actually helpful to identify the students who are falling behind, and he did mention that students who fail these stakes testings do have to take remedial classes until they pass that class. So that's one of the benefits of high test taking. It's making students pass that class until they get it. Also, the second disadvantage I would like to talk about is the tenure system. The tenure system is it's what's currently being used in primary and secondary teachers, as well as college professors. And once again, it all goes back to his fault with the topicality, because he did lack to mention what secondary and primary education is, and it can be the effect of it can be seen in this part of his plan. So when most people think of the tenured system, they don't think of primary and secondary teachers. They think of college professors. And the tenured system, the whole process of it is very different from primary and secondary as it is to college professors. So I think, once again, because he did fail to mention that, individuals will usually think of college professors instead of primary and secondary teachers. And if his plan were to abolish the tenured system, I think in the tenure system, in its way, it's an incentive for teachers to keep doing well. So like I'm saying, it's for teachers that are already doing a good job, and teachers who do, primary and secondary teachers that do get their tenure system, it's after superintendents have redeemed them as qualified, and I think that's great, especially because if you don't really know if you're gonna lose your job, even if you are a good teacher or not. The economy is very unstable, and by having that backup system, I think teachers will continue to do better to pursue having better results for their students. Um, like Rex said in his video, I, the um, his harms, I don't. It seems to contradict. So if heights test taking are doing such horrible things, then how come their yield? How come they're the result of high school diplomas and such? So his harms are faulty. And I also believe that his solvency and his plan and the second plan of his plan to get rid of the tenure system and hire better qualified teachers is faulty. And that's because if they're not, he failed to mention how they would hire better quality teachers, how they would have a test that says they're loving and caring and whatnot. So it's very, his whole plan kind of crumbles because he did fail to mention that like the second half of it. He did stress the tenured